22.
Okay, so let's send the challenge.
Here is challenging. Nice graphics, easy to see. Oh, what are you thinking about? You're looking how it can be the most painful?
Exactly. Okay, fine.
That I give him up a phone. He wants to be even rude. Hi, I'm Grandmaster Judith Polgar, and I'm here to welcome you in the Chessable classroom. It combines a shared chessboard with live video. Teachers get to interact on the chessboard with their students and even run quizzes and tournaments. I really love what Chessable Classroom can offer. I use it myself all the time. Just invite students to your classroom and start teaching right there. No downloads needed, and it's for free.
When I saw her for the first time, it was love at first sight. I love how rich and complex she is, how sharp and principled her first steps, how graceful her movement. Paris is the city of love. I've come to find my love for the French defense.
It's time to take control of your journey towards chess mastery. Magnus Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Move Trainer empowers you to go from the opening to the end game with confidence. It's a seamless, effective, and fun way to study chess. Choose from one of the largest online chess libraries in the world, with hundreds of titles ranging from classic books through to our exclusive Chessable courses, including over 100 free courses. Get expert insights from International Master John Bartholomew, Grandmaster Sam Shankland, International Master Christoph Sulecki, Grandmaster Simon Williams, World Champion Magnus Carlsen, and hundreds of other instructors. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts at chessable.com. Chessable, take control of your journey towards chess mastery.
I'm ahead of the game.
Remember who am I? I'm a boss and I'm honestly off my rocker, but follow me. I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game. I'm only about...
Welcome everybody to the day 2 of the final match of Levon Aronian against Hikaru Nakamura, which is once again the final match of the FIDE Grand Prix Berlin, the very first stage of the 3 Grand Prix tournament cycle to determine 2 players who will qualify for the FIDE Candidates tournament. 6 players out of 8 have already been selected, so 2 more spots in the Candidates tournament are being fought off in the FIDE Grand Prix. And here today with you is going to be Women International Master Raluca Sgircea and me, Grandmaster Arturs Neiksans. Raluca, it's very great to see you back.
Good to see you again, Arturs. How are you doing? You've had a lot of action.
It's a lot of action. Sitting in front seat, only popcorn is missing, really.
Yeah, some popcorn would be nice. I agree. I think yesterday that was a wild game that we had a draw, but it's not a boring draw.
Oh, it was super exciting game once again yesterday. Hikaru with white was clearly worse after the opening, and then he managed to turn the tables, and I think at some point he even had winning chances, but I guess the position was still quite complicated, and draw, I guess, should be a fair result.
Probably, yeah. And I was looking over their games a little bit just to see how they were doing. I noticed that they lately made draws. You told me that 9 in a row already.
Yeah, including yesterday's game, it's nine draws in a row.
But what I was noticing that they were not boring draws. They were fighting draws, most of them.
No, yeah, definitely, you're right. And also yesterday's draw was anything but boring, right? Until then, 2 queens on the board, perpetual check. Could have gone either way. Really exciting game, and I think a proper way to start the final match, because, Raluca, I was actually at some point a bit concerned. When the knockout stage is going to start, maybe the players are going to try to play it safe, think about match strategy. No, they're going for the win.
They are going for the win. I was actually thinking, I think Aronian wants to win this in the slow games. What do you think? Because I'm just thinking that Hikaru might be the favorite in rapid. He's very good at rapid chess and blitz.
That is a very good assumption. So indeed, Levon is leading against Hikaru in their games, not overall games, but especially with the white color. For example, Hikaru against Aronian, they have played in total, let me count what it is. I think it was 24 games for Aronian. And in these 24 games, Aronian has managed to score 11 wins. Only 2 losses and 11 draws. So I think that makes Levon really quite a big favorite in terms of comparing to Hikaru's result with the white color against Levon Aronian, because it was much, much closer. But here, I think Aronian definitely has a chance to try to use the 1 move advantage.
I think so too. And what do you think we will have today on the board? Are we going to have e4 or d4? What's your assumption?
I think it's going to be some sort of a Queen's Gambit declined.
I think so too.
Yeah, I checked what they have played before. They appear to be testing one of the crucial lines of the Queen's Gambit declined, and I could show it to you at the board. But I think first we want to check what they're going to play. They have tested one particular line already. Was it 3 or 4 times? I don't really remember. Very highly topical line. So I think we can expect from Levon either coming out with a new idea or trying to surprise Nakamura with something like c4, knight f3, and just playing some chess. I'm not really sure.
No, yeah, I'm just very curious to see. I also think it's going to be d4. I noticed they had some Sicilians in the past, but I think that was just a few games.
Right. And also, I've been thinking about e4 as such for Levon, and just doesn't really feel like his continuation. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody will disagree with me. He plays e4. Unbelievable. Okay. So I always thought that for Levon, his playing style is something like c4, d4, knight f3, etc. But of course, playing the chess at the highest level, you have to play your fair share of e4 as well.
And we have e4, Arturs.
This I didn't expect. This I didn't expect. I
didn't expect this one either.
I thought it's going to be indeed Queen's Gambit declined.
Italian. Oh, I have an Italian. Is this the first time they're playing the Italian?
Let me check it. I have everything ready here. E4. Yeah, this is the first time they're playing against each other, at least in the classical stage. I don't have any
E5.
I'm sorry?
Nakamura has never played E5 either against.
I'm not sure about Rapid and Blitz. Maybe they have, because they have played in total 188 games. I mean, okay, yesterday's game is 189th. So I simply excluded all the Rapid and Blitz, especially online, because online this is a slightly different game. And I was focusing on the classical games. They played 44 classical games in total, so 24 for Aronian with white and 20 for Hikaru with white. But in classical games, they never played against each other, the Italian.
No, never. And I'm just looking now just to double check whether they have played this in rapid. So I will tell you.
All right. I'll in the meantime, I'll try to explain what is happening here on the board. So one of the reasons why I think in the modern chess, why Italian game is once again revisited, and instead of the Rai Lopez? Well, the answer is quite obvious. It's, I guess, the Berlin. And since the tournament is in Berlin, playing the Berlin in the Berlin makes perfect sense. So after knight f6, one of the most popular continuations here for white is to play short castle, knight takes on e4, and d4, the so-called Berlin endgame, knight e6, capture on e5, queen d8, and this is where the theory only starts. This is a super popular variation. Black is doing fine, and all of this started since the year 2000, pretty much, when Vladimir Kramnik played it for the first time, pretty much at the highest level against Garry Kasparov, neutralizing the one of the greatest players of all times, white color, and thus took away from him the world championship title. So there you go. Now you know the story. Probably you already knew it before. So knight f6 actually would ask white, are you happy going either for this endgame, or let's say knight e4, rook e1, and knight d6 is quite solid for black. Alternative is d3, and just make it short. Just to make it short, that's why white plays bishop c4, because if you expect that your opponent is going to play Berlin, why do you play bishop b5? Just play bishop c4.
And they have played this before, Arturs.
All right.
They actually have a lot of games, but I don't think they've ever reached this position, at least not according to what I see here. So on d3, d6, this has been played before, but here c3 and a6 was played in the game, right?
Yep, c3, a6, a4 is already on the board, and bishop a7 very quickly responded by...
Hold on a second. They do have a game here.
All right.
Maybe in this very position.
All right.
a4, and here black castled. So here is where...
all right, castle. How did that game continue?
And bishop g5 here, h6, and bishop h4.
Is this a rapid or blitz?
These are rapid and blitz games, but I don't know which one this is, because I just made a tree here to see whether they've played the position before.
All right. So let's go back step by step. Bishop c4, bishop c5. This is the most conventional way how black continues to play this. d3, not really mandatory start with this move. One of the most popular moves here is c3, but then again, after knight f6, if white doesn't play d4, right after d4, e5, d5, this is another branch of theory where black is doing fine. I mean, Aronian simply asks, okay, I mean, I can start with the move d3 as well, because I'm not going to go for the d4 push. Knight f6, short castle. This really makes sense to do it early. And here, actually, black has some choices. So after c3, a6, and bishop a7, this is the old way how to continue. Maybe this is also part of Hikaru's preparation for the game, because recently, quite modern setups from black have started to merge in terms of a5, stopping various space-grabbing attempts from white, like b4, a4, a5, etc. So
and I see that Hikaru has actually tried this before against Levon. I briefly saw
not a5.
A5, yeah. I briefly saw that they had a game like that.
Here after c3, a5, right?
Yeah. I briefly saw there was a game like that.
Yeah, this is very, very modern continuation. So explored at the moment at the highest level. There's already quite a lot of theory. So okay, I guess we are not going to dwell on that too much. But one of the typical ideas here after a6 is black once again is going after the light square bishop with knight a5, and quite typical, like it is in the Rai Lopez. White wants to keep this bishop alive. It's kind of important. So either you play bishop e3 or you play a4 to stop the potential knight a5 idea. So a4 really makes sense in this regard, because you defend against knight a5 with bishop a2, you keep the bishop alive, and you fight for the space advantage.
Yep. And here black plays bishop a7. Okay, this move is also quite typical, right? It's just retreating the bishop, and in case white will advance the pawns, you don't want that
Right, and I also want to pay attention to this tricky moment. Is that Hikaru isn't going for what is this? Isn't going for the just a second. How do I remove this? Okay, so he isn't going for the short castle. After the short castle, this is what I played before. After bishop g5, h6, bishop h4. Now this can be really, really tricky because this pin can be problematic, and there might be moments when after g5, white might actually sacrifice it, and it really balances. It really balances between good position and lost position at some point. So
I remember a game like this by I think David Howell was on the receiving end of this with black, maybe against Oparin.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, you know what's really tricky? What's really tricky about this position is that there are various setups for this idea. With a rook on e1, with a pawn on h3, with the knight on d2, with a bishop on a7, and it's so easy to mix it up. It's so easy to mix it up, and even the highest level players have done it before. So there's history. So I think Hikaru's idea is simply not to do that. So he decided to play bishop a7. He's trying to salvage a tempo for h6. Knight a3. I mean, one of the ideas, right? This is the conventional way how to continue. Put the knight on g3. But this idea comes with a knight c2 and bishop e3, so that he can recapture on e3 with the knight. And I see this is actually what happened already in the game. Yeah, knight e7. By the way, very typical idea. Very typical idea. Also, black rearranges the knight to g6. He wants to play c6. He wants to play d5 maybe, and eventually try to equalize the game.
Okay, so we have knight g6. Yep, trades there.
This looks incredibly popular position. Can we maybe check it? Just a second. I also could check it. I've definitely recognized it.
So while you do that, I'm just going to tell you that I found the game that I was talking about, and it was a rapid game. Aronian Nakamura, the one with bishop g5 and the bishop h4. It was a game that Nakamura won, and it was played online on chess.com. So it was 5 minutes plus 1 second time control. It was not even over the board game. It was a blitz on chess.com that Nakamura won. So let's see what will happen here, right?
Right. I'm gonna very quickly insert in the database, check it, what's being played before here, because this looks, like I said, again, extremely familiar.
So how is everybody doing here? Who is everybody rooting for? We are watching you. We are watching what you are saying. Hello to everybody. We are trying to read all the chats. We promise we pay attention to your questions. And let's go, Hikaru.
Yeah, this is indeed played at the highest level. Okay, there's names like you're probably going to recognize Magnus Carlsen against Vishy Anand, this kind of level. For example, in this position, there's been one game, a rapid game of Carlsen against Vishy Anand in 2016. So here, Magnus played a5, which is a reasonable idea, fighting for space advantage. Stop. By the way, one of the typical ideas for black at some point is to play a5 himself, a5 b6, or instead of b6 c6, establish some counterplay. So a5 actually fixes this b6 square. Let's say black is going to play c6. Maybe white somehow can try to capitalize on that weakness. So it really makes sense. So here the game progressed with knight g4, h3, captures, queen e7, queen b3, c6, d4, and bishop e6. So seemingly black equalized the game, but white has slightly more space, and this weakness on b6 is still there. So that is one game.
So I guess taking on d4 was not winning a pawn here because some pressure on f7 is happening, right? Instead of bishop e6.
Oh, you mean here? Takes.
Yeah, I guess something on f7, like knight g5 right away. Or
Oh,
do you
even
want
here.
to do that? Yeah, let's do that. And queen f7, let's go for it.
Oh, that's nice. Double check. And white wins the exchange. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, so this pawn on e4 would be, what do you call it, Greek's gift? No, this is not Greek's gift. It's just
Not a Greek's gift. It's just a poison pawn.
just a
Can
bad
we
pawn,
call it a
right?
poison pawn?
a poison pawn. Yeah, that sounds better. Right. So another game is Vishy Anand against Shakhriyar Mamedyarov. They played it once again. And here white played queen c2. In 2019, Gashimov Memorial.
And
Queen
he wants
c2.
to go d4 here, right? Defending e4. Is that the plan?
He didn't play it, not immediately. After c6, he went for a5 anyway.
Okay.
a5, d5. This was played by Shakhriyar. Bishop e3, bishop e6. And here, very interesting idea by Vishy. He took on d5, c takes, and d4, changing the pawn structure.
Mm-hmm.
And after e4, knight e5, queen d6, f4 was played by Anand. And after takes, knight takes on f3, white has a slightly better pawn structure. And actually, Anand was able to win the game. And then, so that
must be a good game.
It must have been a good game. Okay, I'm not gonna check what happened after that because I don't remember the game itself. They played already so many games to the highest level. But this is once again another idea, another way how people have been playing here. The latest game at the highest level is maybe young Krzysztof Duda against Jeffrey Zhang. And here, once again, young Krzysztof in 2020 Tata Steel Super Tournament, he played once again this idea a5. And Jeffrey responded with b5. Take it. A rookie one. And after bishop e7, there is a quiet game. h3, b5, bishop a2, queen d7, knight h2. And there's a lot of maneuvering, and it finished with a draw. So,
very interesting ideas here. Wonder what Aronian will go for.
I think he's either trying to remember what has been played before, or just trying to think of a new idea.
You think something new can still be invented here?
Why not?
Why not?
No, actually, I think this is how really good players are playing, because they know obviously all these games. Okay, if you would ask Levon immediately, do you remember Carlsen against a non-game? I'm not sure if he would immediately recollect that exactly this position was. Oh yeah, 2016, that game. No,
I'm sure he remembers the ideas, right? That's how these things work.
I think it's just the ideas, the setups. How do you normally play it? I even recall this interview when Hikaru was asked about this Queen's Gambit decline position against Richard Rapport. Hikaru with the white, and the interviewer was asking, "Do you remember there was this 1988 game of Garry Kasparov against Vasily Smyslov?" Hikaru's like, "Okay, yeah. If Gary plays, it must be good, right?" So it was quite obvious he did not remember it, but it was just the ideas.
So here's a question, Arturs. Can white try an approach like queen d2, rook a to e1, bishop to a2, and then to b1, and try a kingside pawn push using the knights?
So rook e1.
A to e1. So a queen on d2 or rook.
All right, queen d2.
So we want a queen on d2 or rook on e1, and the bishop wants to go to b1.
All right. So I'm going to make some normal moves.
Something like bishop b1, and then we want, what do we want? Pawn push using the knights?
I don't know. I guess, is this d4 so great?
Does it even work? Doesn't e4 still hang? I mean, in the end? Maybe
it even hangs. You're right. Queen c7, d4, you still need to calculate potential grabs on d4, and this pawn on e4 might be under attack, or even just play something like b5. And the question is, why did we do all of this of bishop c2 and bishop b1? Anyway, a5 was played, and Hikaru very quickly responded with c6, which seems to be very natural. Bishop b3. This is what's being played. Once again, let me double check it. Those games. a5, c6, and bishop b3. Okay, there's some games, not at the Grandmaster level being played, but I think this is quite a typical plan for white to fight for the b6 square. So it really makes sense.
No, it does make sense to want to get there. Now, is it the knight so strong there? Like, assuming that I get my bishop out and I'm able to get the rook out of e8.
That's a bishop e6?
Yep.
So bishop e6. I imagine I could take it.
Probably, yeah. And now something like knight c4. Okay, the idea is that probably you don't necessarily go to b6. Well, it's a weakness, but you don't necessarily put a knight there, right? The knight can stay on c4.
That is a good point. Yeah. By the way, maybe even you have some different ideas.
Something like queen b3 here looks interesting as well.
Queen b3, queen d7. Maybe there's a room for some d4 push at some point, like preparing this, like rook e1, knight c4, d4.
I actually like the knight on c4 because black will never play d5 when I have a knight on c4. Yeah, the pawn on e5 is hanging. So is that kind of knight that you have there, that you're not moving away, it's just there to annoy your opponent a little bit.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a very, very good point. Actually, this bishop b3, it doesn't seem much, but it's a bit annoying for Hikaru. So I think his intentions are quite clear. What he wants to do here today. And once again, the score is heavily in favor for Aronian when it comes with the white color. I mean, to be honest, I'm slightly surprised he went for e4.
Surprised as well, yeah.
Maybe it was part of the surprise tactics against Hikaru. So
maybe he thought that Hikaru wasn't expecting this either.
Yeah, probably. I think he was expecting this Queen's Gambit because this is what they were playing a lot of times before. D4, there's many ordered moves. So let's say D5, C4, E6. This is what they were testing quite a lot. After knight C3, bishop E7, bishop F4, yeah, E3, C5.
I think takes on C5 was what they...
D takes, Queen A5.
Yeah.
Queen C2. I'm sorry. It was knight C6. My bad. Knight C6, Queen C2, Queen A5, A3, and then there's this. Or maybe I just mixing it up. And there was this trick about Queen A5, A3, knight E2. You remember these lines, right?
There was a game where there's a knight on D4, right?
Yeah. Highly topical lines.
Rook on E8.
Yeah, they played it several times. This one. So I thought we might see it, but maybe there was just no time to prepare this. So
probably, okay, that looks like a lot of fun, that line, but probably Levon doesn't want to risk anything. So if he doesn't feel 100% sure on that, maybe he just prefers this line, which is solid.
And maybe also it has something to do with the strategy because, for example, that Queen's Gambit line I showed to you, Hikaru plays with both colors. He's played it a lot. So if you really want to score well, you need to come up with a new idea. And the difference is that Hikaru is not really an E4 player, right? He is more like D4.
So you think he's trying to get him into lesser known territory?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe Aronian just figured out, this is fun. Why not try Italian game for today? I listened to his interview yesterday. Yeah, he was very chill mood.
Yeah. And Aronian seems to be enjoying playing very much. And that's the impression that I got out of their games. They're both fighting players and they both enjoy playing very much. So I guess they just want to fight it out again.
Right.
The mug. What's in the mug?
Which mug?
My mug. I have tea in my mug. Do you have yours?
Yes, I have my mug. It's here.
What mug do you have? Have you already presented your mug?
Yes, I did it. One of the rounds, FIDE Grand Prix 2019 in Riga.
Yes,
I was there. doing the commentary. So that was super fun. Yeah, it's black tea, if somebody's wondering. So h6, I like this move. h6, I guess the idea is to play rook e8 and d5. This must be Hikaru's idea. And by the way, one thing which I've always been a bit fascinated is that how the modern theory has been moving forward in the Italian game. So quite typical for the Italian structure, at least historically wise, black would play automatically this bishop e6, right? And I imagine something like, I don't know, 30, 40 years ago, the theory would end here. It's like bishop e6, black equalizes. No, it's not so simple, really. I mean, there's a lot of position nuances. So one of the most modern ways to continue, black plays rook e8 and bishop e6 so that he can recapture the rook. So that's why Hikaru plays here h6. I think so, at least, so that he can play rook e8, maybe d5, but I think his actual idea is to play bishop e6 and recapture with the rook. So let's say, let me just make some ridiculous moves here.
Then the point is that you're not going to have any knight g5 ideas, or?
Yeah, that's, by the way, yeah, I forgot to mention this. Of course, because after
after rook e8, yeah.
I mean, probably not dangerous, but you still need
maybe a draw. And
yeah, still need to, understand it. So it's h6 like this is kind of move you want to make at some point. It's sort of a waste of time, but the position is closed, so makes sense. h3 here, bishop e6, takes, and white has this weakness on b6, but normally it's simply not enough. So I think Hikaru's idea is something like this, or just go for d5. I don't really know what he wants.
Maybe d5 here.
Yeah, but d5 might go for this Anand's idea against, what was it, against Mamedyarov. This take on d5.
Game that you showed with d4. If pawn takes d4.
Yeah, d4.
Can we still play knight e5? Because sometimes you can even sacrifice that pawn, but I'm not sure it really works here, does it? Can we still go knight e5? What do you think?
Try it. It's not our game, right?
It's not our game, and we're not even... Are we sacrificing? Like if queen d4 here, are we not... knight c4. Where are you going, Arturs?
I have no idea. I wanted to play knight b6, but I realized I'm on the wrong end of the tactics.
The tactic. But what about queen d4 instead of knight c4?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is, by the way, another idea from another Ray Lopez variation. Sacrifice the pawn, play queen d4, c4. Yeah, I definitely recognize it.
I actually remember it from the Sicilian with reversed colors with black. The Sicilians, maybe the Rossolimo. In some lines of the Rossolimo, you can get something like this with black.
I mean, yeah, this idea definitely is known. So quite interesting one, but Levon didn't play it. Maybe he's actually going for bishop c2. So whoever suggested that plan with bringing the bishop to the diagonal b1 h7, that's what Levon is doing here. I think he is avoiding this idea of bishop e8, rook e8, bishop e6. I mean, it's strange, right? You play bishop c2 and you're like asking, what on earth is this move? I mean, why do you position your bishop here so passively?
But isn't the bishop sometimes going to c2 in order to support d4? You want to have the pawn on e4 defended, and then white pushes d4?
That definitely, I think, is his idea. Or the second idea is to dodge some trades with knight c4, because let's say I would go immediately knight c4. So after bishop e6, this might be too many trades. So let's say I keep this b6 square, but black is going to play knight e7 very early. So let's say rook e1, knight e7, and now I go back. Maybe this is, by the way, still playable. So knight c4, etc.
Not copy and go knight c5 there.
Yeah, but this bishop c2 is standard.
And probably rook e8 here. Yeah, I think rook e8 makes sense.
I think Hikaru also has to consider d5
immediately. Yeah,
because this is, I mean, if you can push d5, fight for the center, you have to consider this. So again, I think Levon's idea is to take it. I think so. Once again, c takes d4. If black ever allows either white to take on e5 or take on d4 himself, this is just a terrible strategic position. For no good reason, black has created the weakness.
No, and you have knight f5 ideas, like this is a dream position for white.
Awesome blockade. And e4, once again, is this knight e5, f3 or f4, as Anand already played against Mamedyarov, which we very quickly checked. And something like knight x and d5, this could be really tricky because now knight c4, black actually might regret that he included h6, this sort of useful move, because f6.
Because the knight on g6, yeah. And even if the knight on g6 is not hanging like here, you might still have ideas of d4, right? Even with the pawn on f7.
Yep.
To split the pawns there.
This is a very typical idea, even with the pawn on h7, yeah. Just push d4 and then claim some sort of advantage. Let's say rook e8, even this could be possible at some point.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah, that you here have...
Sort of better, but okay, it didn't happen. Hikaru is very careful. He played rook e8.
I think tie breaks would be tomorrow. Tie breaks would be tomorrow in case they make a draw. And many people are betting on a draw on today's game.
Do you think, Raluca, is it going to be a draw today?
I think Levon is going to try to win this. I already predicted at the very beginning when you asked me that Levon is going to win the, the FIDE Grand Prix. I don't know if it will come true. By the way, I did predict the European women's champion. I predicted that Elina was going to win, and somehow that came true.
Oh,
so
nice.
Maybe that's a thing this year.
Right. Rook e8, by the way, doesn't really hurt. For black, extra protect the pawn on e5 or against this d4 threat.
I thought so. I thought rook e8 is natural and it's against d4 because now the pawn on d4 is hanging. Easy move.
So again, d4, black is not obliged to react by taking on d4 because even this doesn't really seem like a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But probably he wants to take. I'm not really sure because the pawn on e4 is under attack and something like queen d4. What is this position? Not sure I really understand.
Queen e7, can that be tried? Knight f5 is there, but I'm not sure that I like knight f5 very much.
Yeah, but this is a threat. That's the thing, right?
No, but not in knight f5, no? On knight f5, that's not a threat. My threat is bigger.
Yeah, knight f5 takes, knight e5. This looks like completely all right for black.
I thought that's what I was thinking, that this doesn't look right for white.
Mm-hmm. And if we play something like rook e1, assume that this is not a big deal.
No, but I think, wait, can we see the tactics? If knight takes, the e4, bishop takes, queen takes, and we move the knight away, aren't we winning a rook?
I think the most precise way is to play knight f1.
F1, I was thinking. Knight f1, let's just not give up the knight.
That's the most precise way because this is what we call intermezzo check.
Yeah.
And then you take the queen. Nice.
We take with the knight. I don't want a bad pawn on d4 Arturs.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe this is, by the way, the way to play. But of course, once again, Hikaru doesn't have to take it. Maybe I don't really believe there's d5. Black is a bit too behind development to do tricks like this. That's my gut feeling. Maybe it's wrong. But he could just play something super solid like queen c7 maybe. Or maybe this is Aronian's idea. Take it. And now find a good moment to capitalize on this weakness, but it's not enough.
Maybe I can go for the d6 square somehow. That looks...
Yeah, but even if you get there, once again, there could be something like rook d8. Oh, by the way, this already is problematic.
No, that looks bad because knight f4 is coming now.
Yeah, queen e2, knight f4. This already starts to look a bit shaky for white. And this knight on b6, it's beautiful. And that's what it is. It's just beautiful. It's doing nothing.
And you might need it at some point.
Yeah, and then you go back, I guess.
We're being told rook e1 on the board, so stop your fantasizing here. Commentators, please come back to the game. Rook e1.
Once again, this is a maneuvering game. I expect both players probably are waiting for the other player to play either d4, d5. Once again, d5. There's a good chance that Aronian wants to go once again for this position here. And if not knight e5, maybe knight e2 and f3. This looks, by the way, interesting.
Right, yeah.
It looks interesting. I'm not saying it's good. It just looks interesting.
No, it does look interesting with f3, yeah.
Yeah, and if let's say Hikaru does something standard like queen c7, Maybe Aronian's idea is now, just in case, to protect his pawn on e4. Rook e1 cannot be a mistake. And just be very flexible with the ideas. Or...
Yeah, just improve your pieces. No, there are still many other moves to make before you decide on a.
They're like boxers. They're like boxers in round one. You know, testing the preparation of the opponent, making fake moves. But the real fight is still ahead.
Like a boxing game, right? To go around each other.
Right.
Like this. Okay, so what are we going to see here? I think like something like queen c7. Does bishop e6?
Queen c7. You know, I'm not even sure. Maybe Hikaru has to go for this d5. I would expect that he's going to sit here for a couple of minutes. So d5, he just needs to figure out this position, because maybe even this is playable. Knight e5, you trade pieces. With every piece trade, you simplify your task, seemingly.
Yeah.
And this could be tricky, no?
Yeah.
h3, maybe there is a way for some exciting variations with bishop h5, g4. I don't know what it is really.
And knight f4, let's go.
Yeah, stuff like that. I try to fantasize a bit about this. Well, of course, it's never going to.
It's funny how we try to make things interesting. Sometimes I remember in the first rounds, and then it would end in a draw a few moves later. That like, bah.
Yeah. Maybe Hikaru could be thinking about something like this. So once again, f6 looks incredibly risky because there's d4. This bishop is attacking the knight, and bishop g4, h3. If he takes it, the question is this good for black? I think it's slightly worse, because eventually white is going to play d4 or just target this pawn on e5. I have a feeling that black's position is static, really.
But doesn't black also have some ideas like queen g5 and put the knight on f4, the one on d5, and pull maybe the other
maybe.
Knight h4?
I don't argue. Maybe g3, maybe.
And here I was hoping for knight f4 and knight h4.
Oh.
taking my hopes and dreams away here.
Invading immediately. Okay.
Maybe knight f4 can still be played, but now you have king h2. I'm not going to.
And now you go back.
Do anything. I have to go back.
That's right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, you know, I don't really imagine Hikaru going for this position, because this knight c4 is such a typical idea. Maybe he is considering going d4, e4, knight e2, and trying to figure out the dynamics. Again, of course, Levon is not obliged to do this, but if you position your bishop on c2, what else do you do here? I mean, queen e2?
For d4, I think.
I think he simply has to take.
Yeah.
h3 would be very slow. I mean, I think he's going to go for this. So again, d5, takes, d4, e4, knight e2, and something like, I have no idea. Queen. I mean, there's a number of moves. Knight h4, queen c7, bishop e6.
But the thing is about knight h4 is that I don't have a follow-up. No, I have only one knight there. I probably need a few more pieces.
What a knight. What a knight.
What a knight. Somewhere there or on g2.
Maybe it's not even doing there anything. I don't know.
Probably not. I still need a couple of pieces more to attack. Hikaru's rook on a8 is doing nothing. For now.
We agree. It's just sitting there. And so is the rook at a1.
So the question is actually, what about the rooks on the a file? Will they just sit there?
You know, I believe that in the opening phase, you simply don't touch pieces which you don't know where to position them. That's always been my motto. So white has this idea, maybe position the knight on b6, maybe play d4, but you don't have to define the rook just because it has not moved. I mean, don't play like rook b1. Okay, I'm developed.
Yeah.
Because when you play rook b1, it's not doing there anything. So instead, focus on the pieces which you know, which can be improved. Rook a1 just stands there for the time being. The position has not yet clarified. The rook a8 the same.
Another question here: rook b8 to go b5. I think that I'm not sure that b5 is exactly what.
Not with a pawn on c6.
Not with a pawn on c6. Yeah.
He could have tried to play it like this game of. I already forgot who was with white, but black was Jeffrey Zhang.
Zhang, yeah.
Yeah, takes. Maybe this. bishop b7 and b5. Jan Krzysztof Duda against Zhong.
Mhm.
I briefly showed to you. So maybe this is a plan, but if you play here, c6, this means pretty much you're never going to play b5. Why is that? Because after takes, queen b6, now this is a weakness, and after something like knight c4,
B4, I'm thinking.
maybe even b4.
We'd already out before, but
Just a weakness. I mean, it's not
Weakness,
terrible, but why?
it's just giving your opponent something more to attack, right? It's from here where white doesn't really have a clear target, and you suddenly push a pawn and you have to defend your pawn on a6 for the rest of the game. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily losing the pawn, but you're still going to have to defend it. So why give that to your opponent?
Yeah. So Hikaru at the moment is in a crossroads, at the crossroads. So he needs to figure out, is he happy for this position, if I understand the position correctly, or try to be tricky, play queen c7, and after queen c7, he pretty much never is going to play d5 anymore, and maybe play at least this position. Or maybe he's going to play it, I don't know. Let's say bishop e6, rook d8, be a bit slower. So that's quite a decision for him.
So there's a lot of talk about the idea of playing b4 for white. What do you think, Arturs? Can white still play b4 in these positions, or is this no longer?
b4 might be an idea at some point, like here, right?
Yeah.
Fighting for extra control, extra squares, freeing the rook a1 from the need to protect the pawn on a5. Maybe at some point reposition the bishop back on b3. By the way, another reason why bishop c2 might be an idea is that you include b4.
You free the pawn.
Possibly at some point. But still, I imagine that from Levon's perspective, it makes sense to go with d4. So rook e1, let's say queen c7. I'm not sure if d4 right away or some kind of a preparation move. So I would say this. Let's say Hikaru plays whatever he plays, bishop e6. And there might be, by the way, some interesting ideas.
d5 here, is that?
Yeah, even you could try to change the structure once again.
Yeah.
d5, you notice your knight on g6 is not feeling so well. Maybe white wants to take it. You try to evaluate it. I'm not even saying that's good, but you are trying to vector in all of those changes and understand how does it feel. And because if black doesn't take it, this sort of feels like there's some space advantage for white. So maybe he's just trying to figure out, if I'm going to play queen c7 d4, what I'm going to do next. It's not like you play queen c7, Aronian plays d4. Oh, there's d4. What a surprise. What a surprise. Like, he has to be ready.
No, he does have to be ready, yeah. There's many ideas to think about here.
It could be many moves, like knight g4 maybe, or that's what he's thinking. By the way, I think for Raluca, we also have to remind the tournament system. It's part of the qualification for the candidates tournament. So the candidates tournament, in order to determine the challenger for the world championship title against Magnus Carlsen, here you see it's scheduled this June, July in Madrid. Jan Nepomniachtchi is the runner-up from the world championship, playing against Magnus Carlsen in the previous match. Timur Radjabov is the wild card due to the story how he did not play in the previous FIDE candidate cycle. Jan Krzysztof Duda and Sergei Kiryakin, they have qualified as the finalists of the FIDE World Cup, and Alireza Firouzja, Fabiana Caruana were the top two finishers of the FIDE Grand Swiss held in Riga. So these three Grand Prix tournaments, they determine the last remaining spots in the FIDE candidates tournament. It's 24 players in total in each of the three legs. 16 players are playing 2 out of 3 tournaments, and in the end they are getting some points. So here you see the winner of one stage gets 13 points, the runner-up gets 10 points. So in addition to a very nice prize money, I would expect that something like 20 points should be enough to qualify for the candidates tournament. What do you think, Raluca?
No, I think so. And I've actually even read this before. Many people think that something about 20 points should be enough to qualify. And I was seeing that already they have announced the players for the second leg, which is going to take place in Belgrade at the end of this month, right?
Yep.
Few weeks.
Technically end of the month, but I think it's first March actually.
1st of March, something like that. Yep, they probably just arrive on the 29th. I was just curious to see whether how many of the players who were here in Berlin were going to play, and I see there were quite a few. I hope they will have time to recover. I think I saw Vidit in the next tournament who played here.
Etienne Bacro, Grishuk,
Yeah,
Richard Lappert,
we're
Shirov.
going to have Andreikin. It seems like Dingliren is not going to be able to make it at all for this FIDE Grand Prix. So his spot in the second leg was given to Andreikin, who also missed the first leg of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, but Andreikin now is going to play in the third leg as well. So this means Andreikin gets a chance. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so he gets a chance of qualifying.
Of course, the entire Dink story is really sad, and I don't think that FIDE is to blame there. I mean, what to blame? Because he simply couldn't get the visa to get to Europe, and huge loss, of course, for chess, because he's essentially not getting a chance to participate in the fight to qualify for the match when he's playing at his best years. So that's really unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? There's nothing to be done. And,
no, that's very sad, and I would have liked seeing him play. He's always such a nice player to watch.
Yeah, so I'm absolutely sure that FIDE did absolutely everything to make it possible. But sometimes there's things that you simply cannot change.
Well, we can only hope for better times, can we?
Right. Yeah, and about the match format, if you're forgetting, it's 2 classical games. So this is the first game of the knockout match. The final consists of 2 games. This is game 2. Yesterday it was a draw, very exciting game, and game 2 is the second game. And if it's going to be a draw also today, we are going to have tie breaks, 2 rapid games, 15 minutes plus 10 seconds. And if then it's still a draw, 2 blitz games, 3 minutes plus 2 seconds. If that's a draw, Armageddon it will be, yeah, if that's still a draw. What do you think? It also can be a draw, of course. But
what do you think? Are we going to have tie breaks here or not? My feeling says that we're probably going to have tie breaks.
Well, I'm not sure. The position looks peaceful, and for the first time since a long time, Levon is spending time in the opening, and I think that's something to do with the nature of the Italian game. Okay, there's definitely some theory, but I've always believed that you have to feel the Italian game. This is something you can easily prepare. You just have to feel. You're toying with the ideas, and sometimes you change the order of the moves, and you know the typical ideas how to execute. But studying it's very difficult. So that's why Levon is spending here time. He's familiar with the ideas, but I'm not sure if he even remembered this game between Carlsen against Anand, for example. And it's not much really after the opening, but I think it's a bit too early to tell.
No, I also have the same feeling that this is an opening that is played with ideas, and you have to, play it slowly and feel when it's the right time to go forward, because that's when things are happening. So they are taking their time here. Levon wants to win. Nakamura will be very happy with a draw. People are saying here. I think Levon wants to win. He has white.
Nakamura has to be happy with the draw because he's black. He has a bad score against Levon with the black color. Once again, Levon leads 11 victories and 2 losses.
He is leading
with white against Nakamura. Huge lead.
I was also saying that Nakamura probably is looking forward to the tie breaks. He must feel his favorite in short time control.
Yeah, definitely. He is higher rated. I think he's also scoring better. They played numerous games. If I calculated correctly, these 188 games they played against each other, 44 of them are classical games. So what it is, 144 games of rapid and blitz. That's huge.
That's a lot of games.
That's huge. Yeah, they played in the Meltwater Champions Tour also many games. So, and it's not.
Yeah, sorry.
Well,
so this is roughly equal. Yes, this is roughly equal.
yeah, not much is happening here. Italian game is not really the most exciting opening to talk about. Hikaru can quickly turn around it by playing d5.
Mhm.
d5 takes, d4. We have action.
And those positions with the e4 that we were seeing.
Yeah, d4, e4. Once again, takes, d4, e4, knight e2. I'm not sure how great is this, but there's definitely a lot of play. A lot of play.
Maybe we can even look at 95 for fun here, since Black is still playing.
Still go for this one, right?
Yeah.
95. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I meant pawn takes d5 instead of knight d5, d4, e4, and knight e5.
Take, rook e5, and queen d4, right?
Maybe something like that. Yeah. You just play rook.
And this?
Oh, queen e7. So you're
Even
defending
queen
the pawn.
c7. I'm not sure what is bad, but okay, this makes sense.
So that's as far as this goes. Probably
Yes.
as far as I can still play rook d1, maybe. Finally, time for this rook to get in
Yeah,
the
but I
game.
think we're down a pawn for
I was just hoping that I could. Yeah, probably not going to take that pawn.
what? For what exactly? No, I definitely know the idea. You're right, but I think it's somehow linked with queen d4, c4, and immediately take on d5. If we don't do that immediately, maybe there's some way for knight c4, knight b6, bishop b3, get very creative, but I don't think this is going to happen.
No, probably. I mean, knight d2. What you were showing is the safe approach, and white is doing fine in that position. Followed by f3, that looks very natural. But we could just have some fun with the with the position here.
The question is how much really Hikaru enjoys playing a boring Italian, because he's a very dynamic player. He just wants to play active. He wants to play d5.
Maybe that's what the Aronian was trying to get today. A position where Nakamura is not feeling very comfortable in.
Yeah, he's a very dynamic player, but of course he knows very good how to play dry positions as well.
No, for sure. He knows how to play a very good chess in general. So,
by the way, I think Raluca, we have to remind the viewers first. We are reading what you're saying there. So welcome everybody. We are having a peek at the chat. I'm looking at YouTube and Twitch. Raluca also, in addition, is checking Chess24's chat. So if you have some very interesting ideas, remarks, don't hesitate and post them. Also important to mention is that we are not using any engines, but I think even without engines, it feels
we don't need it here, do we?
we don't need it here to tell you this is equal. This is equal.
We don't need it for now. Maybe later, like in yesterday's position, I'm sure that an engine would have been very helpful. So many complications suddenly.
Actually, yesterday was quite funny. I mean, we had this position when Levon had an extra pawn with black, and we were relying on this bar, the evaluation bar, which was stuck. So for quite a while, we were getting the impression that Levon still is keeping the advantage, but I was looking at the position, couldn't understand where's this advantage, and then we got some information that the bar is stuck and it's already been equal.
It's just not working.
Yeah, I already I felt that it's wrong. It cannot be really so good, but I couldn't really understand why.
Yeah,
that was yesterday.
It was good not to rely on the engine very, very much, especially not on this one here. When you are analyzing your games or your repertoire, you surely need to have a powerful engine, but
yep,
that's completely different, isn't it?
Yep, it is.
So we are waiting for a breakthrough on d5. Yeah, we are waiting for that actually. That will suddenly open the game, wouldn't it?
When Hikaru push d5.
I don't think he will.
I also don't think so.
Maybe we can ask our viewers. What do you guys think? What do you think Black will play here? Let's come up with predictions.
Queen c7 or bishop g4. Okay.
I'm going for Queen C7. What do you think, Arturs?
Queen C7 is normal. Once again, I think Hikaru has to make a big choice. Either go for D5 or sit quiet. So he is trying to figure it now. If I want to play D5, I do it right now, when I can do it. Because later, maybe it's just not the same. Or I just don't play D5 at all. And I play Queen C7 and I just wait for something. So the question is Hikaru feeling comfortable about it? But then again, Hikaru plays D5. He perfectly understands maybe this is exactly what Aronian is waiting for. So he's really to lash out.
We have plenty of suggestions here. Nobody thinks, as far as I can see, that Black would play D5, Bishop E6, Knight H7, Knight G5. By the way, that's
sorry, what move again?
Knight H7, Knight G5.
Whoa.
Is another idea that I'm reading.
It's like
here.
Hikaru played yesterday with this H3, Knight H2.
Yeah. Maybe he wants to play the same idea.
That would make sense. Try it for the second day in a row. Yesterday didn't work. Maybe it works today.
Is Knight F4 playable? Is another question here.
Is Knight what?
F4 instead of Knight H7. So many suggestions here from the chat.
That's definitely a square you want to occupy at some point, definitely. But then again, after D4, D takes, Knight E5 could be a problem. The pawn on E5 is hanging. So you still have to play either Queen C7 or Queen E7.
So the knight on G6 was doing a great job defending the E5 in some lines. I
agree. On F4, it looks nice. It's great.
But it looks nice on F4 as well. Hikaru likes active playing, but Levon is scary, so no D5.
Levon is definitely scary. I would be scared to play against Levon. And
he's having a great tournament so far. So
actually, I had the chance to play against Levon in this Lindora Sabe Blitz after the Grand Swiss League. I was paired against Levon in the first round.
And?
Yeah, I lost. Yeah.
You lost.
I was winning first game.
Oh.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy. Talked a little.
No, he does seem like a nice person from the interviews.
Absolutely, yeah.
Easygoing. Knight C4, B5. Pawn takes B6 and life is good for white. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, that would be very good life for white.
Hikaru's just asleep. I don't know.
Hikaru's just asleep, you think?
there's not much excitement.
Should we call the arbiters to bring some coffee?
Okay, on a serious note, he's just going for a very deep think. He's just figuring out, is he happy, for example, with D4, D takes, Knight C6, Knight B4. He's trying to figure out what happens after D5. He's trying to figure out, do I have to play it slow? He's trying to figure out, can I be creative, play something like Knight H7? He's trying to figure out what else I can do. So a lot of things.
A lot of things to think. Yeah.
You can think for even another half an hour here. So
I think they have the ratings wrong. The last time I saw Hikaru, his rating was 3,000 plus on streams. That's probably his rapid or blitz online rating, but his over the board rating is the one that you see here, 2736. So this is classical chess over the board, not online. Rating, they're different.
His live rating is actually higher than this already. It's something like 2740, I don't remember, 7 or 8. He gained some points in this tournament. And Hikaru, he used to be 2800 level player because once again, both of the players, both Levon Aronian and Hikaru Nakamura, they have crossed 2800. And 2800, this is the elite club, right? So Levon's highest rating was 2830 in the year 2014. And this is the 4th highest rating of all time. So naturally, it's Magnus Carlsen, 2882, the magical record. Gary Kasparov's 2851 is still very amazing, number 2. And I think Fabi's rating was 2844 or 42. I don't really remember. And Hikaru's highest rating ever was 2860 in 2015. So definitely, Hikaru plays better than 2736. I would like to think so, at least.
Yeah. So how's life?
What are we going to discuss? Paw Patrol or something? This was a suggestion, by the way. That
The what? Sorry?
Peter and I were discussing this in one stream. Paw Patrol episode.
Okay.
Haven't watched it really.
No, me either. So I don't know if we can discuss that then.
All right. Nothing is happening here.
Not
Hikaru has
yet.
what? Half an hour thinking? How long has he been thinking here?
16 minutes? Is that right? Or am I just...
Oh, I think it's more.
It's more, yeah? It's more.
It's more.
Arturs, teach us the Catalan.
What? The Catalan, I already did a boot camp about it. So if you want to know something about the Catalan, go to my YouTube page and find a video I did about the Catalan. I taught everything.
So he's already taught the Catalan.
I already taught it.
It's just up to you to learn it now, which is the most difficult part.
Right. I am not addicted to Paw Patrol. I've never seen it. I don't even know what it is. I was told that this was a topic of Jana and Peter. So.
How about some practical advice for over-the-board chess, now that it is coming back, amateur level? Some practical advice for over-the-board chess.
Practical advice: study hard. Don't make.
Study hard. I was going to say the same.
I have a very good advice. Just play better chess. It always works. I've applied this advice many times. Just play better.
Study a lot, and then you'll play better. Is that how it goes? Not necessarily. You can study hard, and then you don't necessarily play better the next tournament.
Mm-hmm. There's a question in the chat. Who do we think will be the next challenger for Magnus?
The best challenger.
The best challenge. I didn't read. The best challenger.
That's a good question.
That's a very good question. You know, I'm not sure about the next cycle. I would guess that probably at some point Alireza is going to become a challenger. I just don't know when.
I was thinking about him as well.
This cycle, next cycle, after that cycle, I don't know. But still, I mean, it's not for granted because Levon hasn't still been a challenger. And I think that has to happen at some point. So why not Levon, by the way? He plays great here. He's always been great. Something always is missing, but maybe it's his time.
Maybe it is his time. No, I think Levon will be a very good candidate.
He will do great.
Do you think that Carlsen will be the last player to defend his title for a while? He has been defending his title for a while now, right?
Right. Quite a while.
Ding. Yeah, Ding is also a worthy opponent for Magnus. Could pose problems. I mean, there are so many good players. How can you just just say this is the best?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, so, Hikaru play d5. Just play d5. What's there?
Don't go crazy.
Just do it already.
Wait. So what about bishop g4? People are asking about bishop g4. What is your take on bishop g4?
Take. And I could, okay.
You want to
talk about some excitement here, but that's ridiculous. Knight e4, make it funny, but queen h4 is just so bad. Queen c7, he plays, oh no.
Queen c7. Well, he was probably thinking about d5 and then decided to just let me just play for the same way. I think so. Because you probably have to calculate all that. And if you don't see it clearly, you just go for the safe, obvious move, queen c7.
Yeah, so Hikaru is going to play it slow.
He's preparing bishop e6 and b6.
He was fighting with his urges to play active. He won.
Sometimes there's a fight inside a player.
d4, by the way, is played.
So we have a couple of moves suddenly.
Yeah. I think we might actually see an increase in the speed. Because Queen C7, this has to be an expectation for Levon, and also D4 had to be what Hikaru was expecting for Levon to play. How do we make this exciting here?
Okay, so if we take on D4, I guess Queen takes D4 is what Levon is playing, or
that's a good bet, yeah.
Wait. No, that doesn't work. I was very excited about and I discovered the attack idea on E4. Nothing. It's just
nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
So Queen X on D4 doesn't really look great for Black because the pawn on D6 is under attack. Unless Hikaru is happy to play this position, and feels a bit slightly worse. Maybe there's your B4, by the way, finally. Yeah. Something like this. Okay, if he doesn't take it, what can he do? Maybe try to play Bishop G4. Yeah, maybe now it's the time to play Bishop G4, because if White takes it, we sort of lose this idea to play Knight C4, Knight B6. I'm not even sure if that's such a great idea, but it's an idea. And I want to take here, maybe, or just play Rook D8. Looks super solid.
Is there anything else here that White could try? Like on Bishop G4, can I maybe try and play H3? Or is that...
Yeah, that's definitely a move. Probably there's going to be no Bishop H5.
Probably not, right?
Although, of course, this is something you always have to consider, but I don't think so. Knight F5.
And the queen does not make it.
Yeah, the queen is not going to make it. So
Black will just play Bishop E6. Can't imagine him taking.
Yeah, that's Bishop E6 is normal, by the way. Yeah.
Bishop
also,
E6
this is playable. I agree. Bishop E6 looks very normal. Bishop E6, Rook D8. But then again, wait, we can try to discuss about this position, D5. Is this even playable? Because if Black goes away, C4, White gets some space advantage. So let's say here, and
pawn takes,
or maybe the knight first. Oh, the knight I take with the bishop, and this feels to be a great Sicilian neither, no?
Yeah.
How great it is, really, I'm not really sure, because Black usually tries to play here, and White's idea at some point to push C4, B4, C5, but feels weird, to be honest. No, I think you're right. Take with the pawn.
Now something like Bishop D7.
Now my big idea was to take it.
Yeah. But it's so great. I mean,
and play something like C4. Maybe this is how you can get a game going.
And then you want to play B4, Rook C1, and C5 still, right?
Yeah, sort of. That is the conventional way to continue. Maybe Queen D2, B4, yeah, and this Rook C1, C5, Knight C4, fighting for these squares. And actually, the fact that Black has doubled the pawns here might be problematic for him to generate some counterplay, because usually Black is pushing the pawns here. Hikaru took on D4. Oh, wait. He's going to play Knight E5 next. This is his idea. After Queen E4, Knight E5. That's surprising, to be honest.
Surprising.
I thought he's definitely not going to do it. But then again, maybe his idea is to play Knight E5 and aim for this kind of position, where White is still slightly pushing, by the way.
So we have this Queen D4 on the board.
Mm-hmm. It has to be Knight E5. Otherwise, why do you weaken the pawn on D6? Maybe he really wants to play Bishop B6. No, I think it's going to be Knight E5.
But what about, what about Bishop E6 and Rook D8? And can you eventually push D5?
But this is just...
the Knight on G6 always.
But it's just weakness. No, on B6, on D6, White will go for this. If I even push D5, it gives me at best equality.
equality. Yeah, I mean,
At best. I mean, I'm not seeing Hikaru playing this. I would see maybe
95 rather than
inviting for this trade. Once again, fix the pawn structure. But then again, Levon can maybe get really tricky here and place into, like, let's say, knight d2. Avoid the trade. Try to play 4. And then things get really exciting very quick.
bishop d7. I can still go queen a2.
Something like this, maybe. So there's
Who's
some
better here.
f3, bishop b3, knight c4. This could be quite interesting, by the way. Okay, this is getting something. This is getting quite interesting here. The only thing I'm surprised that Hikaru is not responding right away.
There's also a suggestion of bishop g4 now in this position. Can this happen here?
Might be also an idea, by the way.
But can I still try your idea of knight d2 since, well, we're here. Maybe the knight goes to c4.
I think first we have to check what happens after the trade. And then this knight goes to e5. Rook d8. Black is very solid, by the way. This bishop on c2, maybe it's not doing anything. Yeah, by the way, the bishop g4 is also interesting.
No, that's my impression that black's solid here with a knight on e5.
Yeah, black is solid. The question is what he intended to do after e takes queen d4, because again, knight takes on d4. Maybe there's a way to sacrifice the pawn on e4. I didn't really calculate it. But then again, black looks super solid here. So maybe there's some tricks with knight f5.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, but I thought that there was nothing. For a second, I hadn't gotten excited about these ideas. But just defend, right?
Yeah, just defend and maybe somehow do something here, like f3.
Knight f6.
Take, and yeah, but okay, black is still super solid. So yeah, okay, probably there's nothing. So that's why Levon took the queen x on d4, and now Hikaru is thinking maybe indeed bishop g4, c5. Wait a second. Are you sure?
It seems so.
Wow, that is very
definitely unexpected. We weren't looking at this.
that is very unexpected. He is looking for a fight here, but that is okay.
And I think he's trying to win the pawn.
No, but he's not winning it, is he? Because you can simply play queen d1.
And there's knight d5, right?
There's knight d5. You just drop it.
Yeah.
That is not winning the pawn. It's more like about fighting for some squares. Maybe his idea is still going for the equality, but with something like I don't know, bishop b7, bishop c6, or knight e5, knight c6. Maybe this is his idea. Now that's a bit strange, to be honest, but it's interesting. It's interesting. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just
unexpected.
I think he's trying to avoid this slightly worse position. So I imagine that this position he was not happy. So try to understand. He maybe even remembered this game of Anand against whoever already was it. I forgot. Mamedyarov.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he remembered, okay, there was this idea that's not so great. Maybe there's other games as well. It's not only Anand against Mamedyarov. It's just the game I saw. So he was thinking, what can I do if I'm going to play something like bishop e6? White is going to push me forever. Maybe, let's say, after bishop e6, White's plan at some point is, let's say, trade the bishops, put the knight on b6, torture me. So he decided to change the structure. Change the structure of the position. Go for something else. Now, I would say like this. It's very committal. Because there is no going back. You cannot position your pawn on c6 anymore. That's it. It's on c5.
No, and this can go wrong. Like, do we have to go queen d1? I was thinking queen d2. Is queen d2?
Queen d2. Now we might have. Ah, wait, knight e4, still knight e5.
Yeah. Does it work though? Wait, knight. Yeah.
So White wins something. Yeah, you're right. Queen d2 is definitely a move.
And now I'm thinking that if I get to play knight c4, I kind of like my position with White, don't I?
Knight g4.
Knight c4 with White. I'm saying that if I get to play knight c4, I like that position, no?
Mhm.
Have a
Maybe-
knight there, and so bishop
maybe
e6.
Hikaru wants to play something like this.
Yeah.
Then have some chances, but even this position feels to be slightly better for white. After b4 takes, there's a weakness on d6.
There is a weakness on d6. That's true. Right, and I cannot really do anything on the c file.
What Aronian is thinking about, queen c4 makes no sense. It jumps under bishop e6. Queen a4 looks weird. Queen d3 jumps under some tempos, makes no sense. So I guess it's queen d2, queen d1. Just trying to figure out why should I position the queen exactly there or not there.
Yeah, queen d2 makes, I mean, it's natural to have a queen on d2, but on the other hand, if knight e4 happens, you have to be prepared. Now there are some tempi there.
Oh wait, there might be some tricks with knight e5. So that
Okay,
I don't
so
have to
show me the tricks. Oh, so you don't have knight d2.
Yeah, this might be bad with the difference. So let's say knight e5, d takes. Now black fixes this weakness on d6. So if white is not going to do anything very quickly, black is going to play bishop e6 and just have a good position. And the white pawn on a5 actually might become a weakness because rook d1 drops the pawn on a5.
So what if I put the other rook on d1? Rook e to d1 and play queen d6.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, this is definitely playable. I like it.
Maybe the file, I mean, if you take once and play rook d8, even if I get, you trade a pair of rooks, I play rook d1. And I get to keep the file. What am I doing with the file like after king f8?
Not much, really.
Yeah.
Not much. Yeah, it's quite equalish. Maybe there's also this idea to play knight e5 and take with the e pawn. Yeah, but this is better, no? Something like c4 or double the rooks here, go after the pawn on e5. This is a protected pass pawn, which is blocked now.
And look at the king side a little bit as well with the rook.
Try to somehow create a gain. No risk for white, I think. So I would definitely think about this. Maybe I would try to figure out, indeed, let's say queen d1. And now after knight e5, I keep the option to play knight e2 and f4, get rid of the knight so that I can position the knight on c4. Definitely. This is very interesting idea.
And what about bishop e6 right now? f4 anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, f4. And now if you're going to go to g6, g4.
No, this I have to go to c6 probably, but that's not where I was planning to have my knight.
Maybe let's say knight c4. Still, you need to figure out a lot of things here. For example, take it. I'm not sure you have to take it, but rook d8, how does it feel with d5? And maybe if black pushes d5, it's still worse. So yeah, so I would say this is what Levon is thinking here. Either queen d2, because after queen d2, if Hikaru is going to play bishop e6, oh wait, maybe he still can play bishop e6 and keep.
Yeah, but I think we look at b4.
Yeah, b4 takes and knight e5. Oh wait, but then we have knight e4. All right, just a second. So b4, I'm going to play knight e5 right away.
Okay.
So maybe this is the trick. So now you don't have any squares. I want to take on f3, ruin your pawn structure. And this is just totally fine for black. Totally.
No, if black doesn't have the weakness on d6, I think that's not so great anymore.
Yeah, maybe that's why Levon is not immediately playing queen d2. He's keeping the option to play queen d1 and knight d2 retreat. Once again.
What about on queen d1, something like bishop g4?
He plays queen d2, by the way.
Yeah.
What about queen d1?
Something like bishop g4?
That's another issue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really interesting. Seems like nothing, but there's some nuances. because queen d2 doesn't allow white to play knight e2, and queen d1 allows some bishop g4 ideas. So either way, what was Levon's consideration, we don't really know. But he decided to play queen d2, and it also looks very natural, right? Just very natural, because queen d1 is maybe slightly more artificial. Of course, Hikaru is not even thinking about knight e4, just knight e5. He spent here exactly 1 second for this calculation, and not 1 second more.
I think the queen is more natural on d2 because you have the idea of rook d1. But on the other hand, I like the maneuver that you were pointing out earlier with knight d2 and knight c4. So I'm not sure which one, which one to go for.
Yeah, I'm also not sure. Wait, like he plays bishop g4 anyway. Okay, that's interesting.
And what was the idea that we had here? We didn't even look at
I was sort of proposing to play bishop e6.
Right, to stop.
And after b4, knight e5. I mean, I tried to make work knight e5 right away, but then after this position, I felt that it's sort of better for white. Sort of. I mean, yeah, it's definitely better for white, because you'll have problems to protect the pawn on e5, because after g6, the pawn on h6 might be hanging at some point. It's just
And
like,
the
I'm
lights
guessing really. Yeah.
So bishop g4. Okay, bishop g4 does make sense, because if you don't have knight d2, you cannot move the knight. You have to take on g4, or what? Any other options? Probably not.
Okay, now it gets really interesting. Let's say I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. And the question is, what do you do against my plan to position the bishop on d5?
Doesn't seem that there's much I can do against that.
Wait, there's way for excitement. Wait for it.
Arturs has found a way.
Yes. I just need to figure it out. Okay, d5. Can I do this?
Okay, so I'm going to take that pawn, because obviously that's where the trick is, with the bishop and knight h4. So if I take, your point is that you take on h2 and king f1, and at least you can
check.
take the knight, but that check looks very annoying as well.
Yeah, that looks quite something, no? Wait. Maybe it's just ridiculous. Once again, so bishop g4 takes. Black has this queen on c7, looking for the pawn on h2. So if we force to play h3, there could be knight e5, and again we are forced to take, and d takes on e5. This bishop is perhaps not doing anything, because black at any given moment play c4, right? Close the bishop.
Yeah.
So if I take it, it makes sense not to waste time for h3. I want to play bishop e3, position the bishop on d5, and make a face like I'm a very happy person here. But let's say c4, once again, big decision for black, because this would weaken the pawn on c4. And let's say after bishop a4, the pawn on d6 is weak, and pawn on c4 is weak. And Neiksans would be very happy about this position with his theory about the weaknesses. So that's why I thought about this d5.
Okay, so let's see it once again without me trying to play into your idea. If I take with the bishop and knight h4, that's pretty much it. I don't have a. I can give the pawn back with e5.
Definitely, black at least wins back the pawn.
Yeah.
Unless there's some shots on f7, which I don't see immediately. Maybe there's something like bishop f7. I don't know immediately. Yeah. I cannot tell. I mean, I'm not an engine. So queen f7 would be knight h4, and king f7, maybe there's
check.
God almighty, something like this. Okay, for this you need to spend more time. I'm not gonna say what it is really. Maybe it's just a refutation. What?
Just an idea here, but why can't I just go king f8?
Yeah. By the way, king f8. And now again, this is, here white simply loses a piece for nothing.
Yeah.
So let's say, okay, after bishop d5, knight h4, let's assume it works. If I take with a pawn, it's again knight h4. It's actually even worse. Oh, wait, there's d6. There's
d6 now, yeah.
This I didn't notice.
Oh, d6 is probably killing the plans.
That's the mood killer.
So people are just wondering if you're not an engine. In fact, we're not using an engine, but maybe Arturs is the engine.
Wait, let me continue this line. Take it. And here.
So is you want to draw, or are you trying to win now? If I
Okay,
take on g4, that's a draw, right?
Yeah, that's a draw, and I already see some bishop a4. Nah, this is never going to happen. This is never going to happen. I mean, it's just a funny idea. Of maybe at some point Hikaru will have this idea of d5, knight h4, but I just try to have some fun here. You know, it's Italian game. You cannot blame me.
No, we cannot blame, you know. But what to do if I think knight g. Okay, Aronian is thinking for a while here. So what else is there is the question. There must be something else here.
For white?
For white. Or is he just looking at these lines that you just showed? He's just looking at the d5 idea that Arturs showed him.
You know, I can be really, really creative here, and I might mention that maybe this is not even a threat. Let's say king h1. Make the
now
knight.
White wants to attack. Like, let's say that I take.
And rook g1.
And rook g1.
Yeah,
and you're saying that the knight, yeah, something like that is not.
There is something really interesting here. It's very dynamic.
What about the knight h5 and knight f4 idea?
Yeah, those are very valid points. Knight h5 is knight e5. So I protect that f4 square from your blockade.
Right, I don't like that. So I shouldn't do that. Knight h4.
And knight h4 is also a very valid point.
Well, but maybe you can find, wait, okay, can we still try rook g1 and I have an idea, knight f3, rook g7.
Who said Italian game is boring? We can always find a way to make it exciting. There's something here. Wow.
Suddenly we're winning the game. Let's go. Queen h6, rook g1.
Just for fun.
Oh, just for fun, because you want to have the option of queen g5.
There might be no mate though. I mean, well, this is fun, by the way. Wait, you know, if somebody can make a move like king h1, it's Levon. Because again, look at the position. Knight g4. This is boring positional game. Black is going to play knight e5, and you ask yourself a question: can I really beat Hikaru here? Can I even do this? Because black is so solid. One knight might go to c6, rook d8. Very interesting setup by Hikaru. I haven't seen it really before. But here, Aronian might think, wait, I can still play king h1. And let's say if black is going to play knight e4, there might be some sacrifices. Okay, let's just discuss this direction.
So knight e4, wait, and then the knight on, okay, that's so good. The bishop on g4 is hanging, that's good.
I mean, maybe it doesn't work.
I was starting to look at knight d5. That doesn't work anymore. Hold on a second, but no, the bishop on g4, yeah?
What is this? What is this here happening? Take?
No, but it wasn't, because, well, bishop takes, rook takes, and that's all. Can we go back a second to before knight d5? Can we take on e4? Like knight e4, bishop e4?
Yeah.
You just do this. I take on g4.
Oh, you want to sacrifice?
And I trap your rook. No, I don't sacrifice anything. I trap the rook with h3. It's not trapped. And I cannot trap the rook.
No, actually, this rook is misplaced somehow but you can go to f6 very quickly.
Yeah, that's the
point. Wait. This is a big moment, by the way, because once again, if king h1 works and there's knight g1, he can play f3 and keep the knight on the board, and then I don't know what to do with knight and g1 really. But at least he dodged. No, I don't think he's going to happen. Even let's just make some ridiculous move. We don't calculate knight e4. We don't calculate bishop f3. Let's just make some ridiculous move like rook d8.
Rook d8, a useful move.
Yeah, useful move. So knight g1. Let's make another standard move like, I don't know, king h8. So are we really happy about this position?
Well, I don't know where the knight from g1 is going. Right?
Yeah, that's the point. So I think we can discard it.
Maybe we can get him to f5.
Nah, it's...
Nah.
Queen d1, by the way, is played by Levon.
Okay, so he took on g4 and played queen d1. So he played queen d1, and he wants knight d2. Why did he play queen d1?
I assume that he didn't expect bishop g4. Otherwise, if you play queen d1 and you expect bishop g4, then it's essentially winning a tempo, right?
Yeah.
He must have thought after queen d1, Hikaru is going to play something like bishop e6 or knight e5, and that's why maybe by the way knight e5 and knight e2 and whatever disposition. So he thought queen d2 is more natural. Bishop g4 was unexpected, and now after the trade, he is willing to position the queen back on d1.
With the idea of knight d2.
All right. Can I go with d5 ideas?
Found another crazy idea, Arturs.
Just a second.
D5. We want to see d5 and knight h4 on the board, don't we? And knight h4. There we go. For sure you can, because now I don't have d6, right?
Yeah, d6 is queen d6.
Yep. So let me see what we can find here.
We are not ignoring you, dear viewers. We are watching everything you're saying. We're not ignoring. We're just so excited with our ridiculous analysis here.
Yeah, queen e4. That's I think knight f3 is quite annoying.
But
Queen
it
h.
loses something, no?
It loses that rook on a1.
Maybe there's even a forced make like rook e8. Okay,
Rook e8.
that's great. That's great. Wait. Okay, queen d1. Can we play
d5? D5 is a critical move here and a big question. So I will have to ask what happens if I take with the pawn, right? That's the big
question.
Question.
Of course. Take with the rook. You're gonna take with the knight.
No, I have to take
is goodbye.
Knight. Yeah. So queen takes and knight h4, and here we have this position where let's try to figure out if we have anything against.
Of course, I could just. Wait, I cannot take it, right? Knight h4.
Oh, because rook e8.
Check. Yeah, this loses something big time.
An even better version than.
Yeah. All right. So
can I take with the queen?
Wait, let me check this. Is there no other combinations here?
Well, there was this nice idea of bishop h7, hoping that you would take my bishop, but you probably wouldn't.
Check. It doesn't even work, Look, what you're suggesting there, there's a 5.
Oh, you have a 5. Okay.
Okay, but I love the spirit. All right. Okay, we take with the queen, right?
We take with the queen. Let's try that. I guess that you still want to play knight h4.
Yeah. And if I play now queen h5?
Okay.
Protect the pawn.
So if knight f3, pawn takes, and the queen from h5 defends h2. That is the point.
Wait.
And if I take on g4, you want to go rook g5.
Yeah. We trap the queen.
We trap the queen. And what if I go rook? Yeah, queen h4 or queen.
I already was there. So queen h4.
Rook g5? Nah, I'm going to take the knight.
No, probably not. But okay, maybe not.
Knight h2 doesn't work either, right?
What does work?
On rook e5, queen h4. I was hoping to make a knight h2 work, but queen h2. Rook g5, nothing. It's nothing there.
It's nothing. Okay.
It's nothing in the end. Just go to h1.
Okay, just a second. So once again, knight g4, queen d1, d5. We saw this idea in a different variation. I'm just trying to revive the idea once again. Queen d5, knight h4.
Queen h5.
Maybe there's also e5, by the way. Okay, queen h5. But even this position, by the way, maybe it's playable. There's some serious contemplate. This bishop on c2 is not doing anything.
And there's rook e6, rook g6 maybe coming.
Yeah. There could be knight c4, knight c. By the way, knight c6 already wins back the pawn, I guess. Or just knight g6.
Knight g6, yeah.
There's definitely a way for excitement. This could be interesting. Let's say if I protect it against queen takes h2 threat with e5. Wait, I just win it. Yeah, I just win it.
Well, there's a suggestion here. Hold on a second. After d5, h3.
Yes, I didn't get so far. Let's wait for it. I didn't get so far. I'm taking it one step at a time. So h3, take it.
Take on e4, yeah.
So
and just take on
there's
E4.
rook d8 incoming, by the way. No, definitely Hikaru is looking at this. Don't tell me he's not looking at this. I mean, maybe he's not going to play this, but actually d5 is very
No,
solid.
I think he's looking at this.
He's definitely looking at this. I mean, maybe there's a different way to continue. Maybe there's something like knight e5, something like rook d8. Rook d8, by the way, looks very normal. I'm not sure if Levon playing queen d1, he saw d5. Maybe he did. He did play it very quickly, by the way, queen d1. Did he really evaluate all the consequences? Or he just thought, okay, d5, even if this happens, I have at least h3. And go for this position. Maybe he saw it. Maybe he saw it and thought it's nothing
has
special.
h3 prepared.
I'm sorry?
And just has h3 prepared.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, that position does not look so bad. No, bishop e rook e4? Okay.
I don't know. I guess so.
Okay. And bishop takes. Yeah, because on rook d8, my queen goes to c2, yeah? Or to b3, and I'm...
Maybe this is slightly worse for black because this bishop is looking at these pawns. Hikaru pushed the pawn forward, but not the pawn I thought.
The other one. The one that everybody wanted to push. b5.
This is the move I told you. It's... You never want to make... Wait, where was this? Just a second, let me go back. It was about here. There was a question in the chat. Exactly here. Why don't you play b5? And I told you, because after 8 takes, queen b6, black creates a weakness on a6. Why would you want to do that? So this is not how you play it. And then in a similar position, Hikaru plays b5. I totally didn't expect this.
No, there are actually 2 moves in a row, 3 moves in a row that we weren't expecting. c5, bishop g4, and b5.
Actually, this is very interesting what Hikaru played. Very interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
the more I look at this, e takes, c5, bishop g4, very interesting idea. I like it, actually. It's dynamic. It's like Hikaru plays. Sort of thinking outside of the box. I like it. But b5? It's something really, really specific. Something concrete. I mean, of course, it's a bad move in general. In general, it cannot be a good move because why do you create weaknesses? And of course, Levon immediately took it. But maybe exactly here, it's great. I don't really think so, but why would you want to create a weakness, though? Some contemplate, sure, but are you not having enough contemplate here?
Maybe he was...
d5?
Maybe something's wrong with d5, actually. Maybe d5 he...
The bar doesn't like it. I'm not really surprised. Why do you create weaknesses in your position?
And a5 was a pawn that white always had to defend, right? In some lines. We were thinking that the rook on a1.
Or the pawn on a5. Yeah.
The pawn a5 earlier. No?
I actually was thinking that
Maybe we
Hikaru
wanted to do
played this entire sequence of taking on d4, c5 with some ideas to go after the pawn on a5 because it's sort of, disconnected from action. And after b4, maybe there's going to be something. So this entire sequence looks strange. First, you create this supposed weakness on b5. Now you trade it and create yourself a weakness on a6. That's why I'm saying it looks strange, but there's something specific, probably. The bar says no, black is just worse.
Knight d2, and the bar says no, that's not the way to go.
Wait, it's going to change its mind.
Well, but why? What happens if I go knight e5 here, Arturs? Knight 4 to e5.
This is Levon's idea. Attack the knight, go knight c4, protect the pawn on b2. So knight e5. Definitely makes sense. I could play maybe... Not sure what. b3? Rook a2? Maybe rook a2? Rook a2, g3, or queen e2, rook a1.
Attack h6, and at some point, will you play f4 or not? At some point,
I don't know. I don't know. Knight e2 is logical move because why Levon played it very quickly is that he definitely saw this idea already here. I mean, here. He already had this idea, right? This knight e5, knight e2, he figured, okay, this is maybe he doesn't like for whatever reason. But here, after queen d1, he sort of goes back to the same idea, and now he, okay, I already was thinking about knight e2, so that's why not play it right away? But he played it very fast.
But there's another question, Arturs, here. Can I take b2? Probably not. Rook b1, queen c3, rook b3.
Oh.
And I'm winning the knight on g4, yes? Oh, I still have queen d4.
Not
rook d3. Rook d. Oh, the pawn on f2. So.
Not necessarily. I was actually thinking, of course, you have to check the immediate attacking move like rook b1. I was actually thinking also knight c4 could be a move.
Yes,
knight c4 and knight e6.
That was the other idea.
Somehow, but even here the pin looks risky. Could get very sharp very quick. Bishop b3.
Yep.
Try to figure out what it is.
Maybe now.
Yeah. This is not something we can immediately jump in. You have to do this. I mean, I just say, I look at this position. This is a mess. I don't understand it. I have to sit here 5 minutes on this position. Every move, I have to understand it. I cannot immediately jump in and say, this is how you play. Yeah, queen b2 definitely is a move to consider.
So knight c4 is probably the idea.
I don't know.
Can I try to trap the queen with something like bishop b3, or is that going to backfire?
Yeah, but it's not really trapped, right?
Not
I can
really
always
trapped, no.
Maybe there is a way. For example,
I was hoping that we could find a way. Yeah.
No, this is definitely very risky. I'm a bit surprised that first. I'm surprised by Levon's very fast response. So if you play so quickly, a takes queen b6, knight e2, you clearly see something immediately after queen b2. So what it is? Is it? Maybe it's. Wait, what it is really? So maybe it's bishop. I don't see it.
So we're being told here, queen takes b2. If bishop b3, there's c4.
What?
C4? And if I take it with my bishop?
What is that? Maybe there's 95 at the tempo. Okay.
But why do you need to give this pawn up?
Just to win the tempo, I guess. Not very obvious. There was a suggestion in the chat that Hikaru is never going to take it. You know, I'm not so sure. Because your intuition takes it as far as the calculation. You have to calculate. You cannot guess it. Hikaru cannot play queen b2 and guess, okay, this is probably not going to work. Because if it works, it's just a pawn. And less pawns maybe to get closer to a result what he wants. So definitely he has to calculate this. Even if Levon played it so quickly, he has to make sure what it is.
No,
Maybe
for sure. I was just reading here. There's another thing that apparently we've missed in one of the lines in the queen b2, knight c4 line.
Yeah, which one is
queen
it?
takes c3, knight takes d6, and here rook d8, bishop b3. There's rook d6, which is a good point.
That's not really surprising. I already told you I was just an idea. This bishop b3. I jumped here, and in 10 seconds I say maybe it's bishop b3. But this kind of position, you really have to calculate for a while. I'm not sure I can do that in a couple of seconds. It was just an idea I was thinking. Maybe this 94, 90, knight c4, 96 is the idea.
So c4 is the stockfish move, maybe, but.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I understand the idea of c4, however.
Maybe, okay, Levon's idea, if this happens. But
yeah, if queen c3, what happens?
Wait. I take it and I take on g6. Maybe this is the idea.
Oh, that's nice. Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah. So Levon must have thought, I think so. I'm not sure. Just first idea that I try to trap the queen. The knight is still under attack. Queen c3, I win a piece.
Yeah.
So he calculated that very quickly. And let's say if black does something else, he does something like knight e5, there's a room to trap the queen. let's say rook e3. Although this is still such a position which needs to be calculated very carefully. And most like c4 can be easily missed. Although it does make sense because it at least allows the queen to escape.
Back, okay. Yeah, something on f2, but I'm not sure I can make that work. Something on f2. I don't think I can make anything on f2 work.
Raluca, I think this is usually these kinds of positions happen when both players are very open to exciting game. Although this was a Italian game, they can always find excitement in boring openings. And when you have somebody who doesn't want any excitement, you can do whatever you want. There's nothing going to happen. It's going to be a very long grind. But clearly here, both players are ready to take risks and they're looking for excitement.
And just as I said, they never make boring draws. And so even if this is going to be a draw, it's definitely a game that could go both ways.
Wait, there's a suggestion to play what? C4 earlier? No, that's not an idea. C4 earlier, the knight is ganging. You're going to do that.
And there's another idea here. Maybe there is a trap to a draw after knight c4, knight b6, knight d5. So how is that on queen b2, knight c4, knight b6?
Wow.
With the idea of knight d5?
So if I just play something like rook b1 and pretend I don't understand what's going on, so let's say knight e5, queen d4 drops the knight.
I have to stay on b2 or c4, right? On c4, no, because of bishop d3. I don't know. Let's try them. Let's try them out. So what do I do here? Rook b1, queen a2. And here's how I can make a draw with rook a1.
Yeah, that's at least a draw. Bishop b3 drops the pawn on f2. Queen g4 is queen c2.
And what about, what if the queen goes to c4 instead of b2? Here, queen c4. Because my idea is that if bishop d3, I have queen d4. I'm keeping an eye on d3 and looking at f2, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Definitely a good idea here.
Oh, so I have rook a4 here.
What? Rook a4. Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I don't know. Queen b5, knight c7.
No,
I just take the knight, yeah.
I just take it.
I just take the knight.
Now, definitely this is a huge decision for Hikaru. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I even understand Levon's idea. It must be bishop b3, right? Oh, wait, what do we calculate? It's knight c4, knight b6, or maybe it's bishop b3. Maybe there's another trick, something like knight a4. Oh, wait, just a second. Rook b8, knight a4.
So you want me to go to c4 now? That's the only square, yeah?
Yeah.
And then after queen c4?
And then I don't know what.
Because then we don't have rook a4 anymore.
Yeah, we don't have rook a4. Okay. I think you're right. This might be this knight e5, queen b2, but still black is holding. Oh,
I'm just trying to see whether knight g4. I mean, people are discussing lines that we are not even looking at.
Which lines? Which lines? Give us a hint. Which lines are you discussing?
There's a talk about knight g4, but I don't know. And 95. I don't know 95. How do we? And h5. So I'm not sure how.
I mean, definitely there's
h5 here, maybe
h5. There's knight f6. There's many moves. I don't argue, but I think the critical question is what happens after queen b2, right? I think everything else is not really so critical. So you play something like knight e5. I play even b3 or rook a2, and white has a better pawn structure, at least. I mean,
and if black plays h5, I think white will be very happy to go knight c4.
Right? H5 is a move, but
aren't we happy to just play knight c4 here?
Yeah, knight c4, attack the queen here, go after the pawn on d6, push h3 if necessary at some point. Probably not even necessary. Yeah, knight e5 would take away the c4 square. So Hikaru has to do two things at the same time. He has to calculate precisely queen b2. And this is what you're going to do in, I'm sorry, you're going to do that in 5 minutes. Maybe Hikaru can do it, I don't know. But I think it asks for something like 10 minutes more. Or just play knight e5. You know, so this is so interesting is that you calculate all of this, let's say you calculate for 20 minutes, and then you decide you're going to play knight e5 anyway, and then you blame yourself for wasting all that time for calculating something as ridiculous as queen b2. But it's not so ridiculous, really.
It's not so ridiculous, I think.
It's definitely a move.
Yeah, he's taking a long time to calculate queen takes b2. Oh yes, if
Definitely also
takes
bishop a4. Also, I saw also this move. I saw it. Yeah, I just didn't have any time to calculate it. Yeah, definitely there's also bishop a4.
Okay, so let's get the rook out of there.
So
Rook b8. Yeah.
Rook
Knight.
b8.
No, knight c4. I take on c3.
Knight c4, even on f2.
Oh, f2. Yeah.
So once again, rook b1. And here.
And rook b3.
Rook b3. And
Queen
here.
b4. Yeah.
Queen g. I can even take her here or here.
Yeah, you can choose now.
Now I'm total chill. All right. So what was the critical
bishop
line?
a4 was.
Now bishop a4 we sort of
Doesn't seem
already
to-
we talked about. Rook d8, knight c4, no good. Queen g4 is queen d2.
I'm not sure what else we can try here. If not,
No,
rook
what about this one? What was it about? What was this? Knight c4, queen d6. And this
and
might
knight
be
b6, no? Was
Yeah, knight b6. Yeah, this might be quite critical. This knight e5 idea. Go for domination. So once again, rook b5, knight e5. Queen c4 loses to rook a4. We sort of calculated that. So queen b2.
And here we concluded that rook b1, rook a1 would be a draw.
Yeah, it's super scary. I mean, it just takes one move and you're done. You just lost immediately. Because if black loses the exchange, I would assume he is simply strategically lost. Somehow, rook e2, bishop a4, somehow you missed this moment, and that's it. So let's say, once again, queen b2, bishop b3.
So we're also being told that Dubo was looking at the line after bishop b3, queen takes c3, all that line that you have there with queen takes g4 and queen takes d2 and queen takes g6.
Oh, yeah, by the way, yeah.
Saying that it's a draw?
What? Why it should be a draw?
I don't know. c4. Oh, c4. Nice. That's a very nice idea. c4 and d5.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's a very nice way of, yeah.
You know, if Hikaru is going to spot this, wait, just a second. So, queen b2, bishop b3, and just take it.
You just take it. And then you give it all back.
Wait, but I can include rook c1. I can include rook c1. And then
queen
after
b4?
queen b4, I take it.
Yes.
And I take it.
And on c4?
Oh, it's the same, no?
No, but you can take with a rook.
No, you cannot take the rook.
Ah, the rook on e1. Maybe you can play the other rook. Ah, no.
And the queen is under attack.
The queen is on d1. Okay, yeah.
Take d5. Unbelievable. Can you even go there? Is this human? Who plays like that?
He took on b2, Arturs. Oh, we're going to see some excitement here.
Queen b2 doesn't surprise me. This is like a challenging Hikaru, and it's like a challenge. But how human is this line? Maybe it is human, by the way.
And maybe very human for Hikaru. Just
I mean, I discarded it. I saw queen g6. That's it. That's it. So, oh, c4, d5. Okay. Wow. Oh, so let's continue this line. Let's say d5, bishop d5, queen d5.
queen takes g7 check. Someone says there.
Takes.
And then let's give up everything. Yeah.
No, but this is a draw. 3
This
against
is
2, it's a
I
draw.
think so.
Take, take.
And rook d8.
A5, A4, even black can play here. Okay, probably not. Although, D6, A4, D7 is going to be rook D8. No, you can actually get in some problems here. Outside pass pawn. But even if this doesn't happen, black plays rook d8. Somehow we get this position. Somehow we get this position. Even this is a draw.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Maybe it's gonna end with a sharp draw.
As usual.
By the way, chat says I found the most just because Raluca told me to check further. This is only how I found it because I already discarded it. I said queen g4, queen g6. That's it.
Yeah, we just read this in the chat here.
The bar said it's draw, right? So it must be good.
Yes, the bar seems to the cold bar, cold heart of the engine.
Hikaru is definitely a very good calculator of the variations. You simply don't back down from calculating very critical lines.
No, that's in theory, that's what you're supposed to start with.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's not so many moves actually for him to calculate. So queen g4, take on c2, that's already crossed out. Rook b1, queen c3, couple of moves, he crosses it out. Bishop b3,
c3 looks interesting.
queen c3, if he sees this line, by the way, that's just incredible, really. But even the c4, by the way, maybe it's working somehow. Could be interesting. c4 with this 95 idea, quite something. And then I guess the critical choice is knight c4. I would be most afraid if I was black, because after queen c3, the position is narrowly holding to ground. Whether knight c4 is on the board.
Played.
Yeah. So after queen c3, you need to calculate this. 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 You need to calculate everything, anything you need to calculate. So now it's going to get really interesting.
Queen c3, we have it. And here knight b6 was the move that we were looking at, right? Oh, and knight b6 we looked for a moment.
There could be also some knight a6, queen g4 maybe. Sacrifice a pawn for some compensation, I'm sure. But no, probably not. Knight b6, okay.
B6.
He follows your suggestion, Raluca. You saw it first.
Actually, the chat suggested this.
Oh, okay.
Knight b6 and knight d5.
95, okay. Maybe it's going to end with a draw.
That draw with rook a1 and rook b1.
Rook b8, here, check.
Back to the queen.
check. Yeah, and I guess that after queen c4, rook a4 loses.
Because the knight on g4 will be hanging.
Yeah.
Or that's what we think.
Unless there's something else. Wait, let's just check again here. 95. There's some tricks.
Other than queen b2, no? What about no? Because you lose the knight.
Yes. No. You have to go here. Here. Queen a3, no.
Because you lose the knight on g4 always. Yeah.
Queen a2. Okay, maybe here's a room for something. Yeah, by the way, this is on the board. 95 is on the board.
And queen b2 played. So let's see if this is how this is going to end.
Yeah, we might see a draw by repetition. And this is on the board, rook b1.
And he's not played. Yeah, now he's just played queen a2.
If rook a1 is going to be played, it's totally a draw. Maybe here Levon has some other ideas, but I don't see. No, it's going to be a draw. Yep.
It is going to be a draw.
That's how it looks like. That's how it looks like. And they played so quickly, this means they have already figured it out. Let's just wait for the players think a little.
Big hands. Yeah.
Oh, maybe Levon has some extra ideas he wants to test.
I'm not even sure what else is there. Someone was suggesting knight takes f2 at some point, but I don't know how we can actually make that
Knight
work.
what?
Knight f2 in some lines, but I'm not sure you can make knight f2 work.
I didn't see any moment when you can play knight f2. Maybe there was something. Wait, did Levon
Levon is the one thinking.
bluff with this 92? He thought that it's working somehow, or maybe he was going for this entire sequence of rook b1, and he simply missed. I'm sorry, where was this? With the bishop b3, and he simply missed this idea of queen g4, queen d2, queen g6, and maybe he saw this. And that's why Levon discarded this. I wouldn't be surprised. They're super GMs. They have to be calculating these lines. And in the deep think, maybe he discovered this. Oh, wait a second, there's c4, d5.
But he didn't think that. Oh, maybe he calculated that while Hikaru was thinking. And we have rook b1.
Okay, let's just wait for the confirmation. Queen a2, knight c3 could be queen a5.
Right.
This looks like a draw. Yeah, it's going to be a draw. This is a draw.
And we'll be back tomorrow for the tie break, so it seems.
Yeah.
So excited, Arturs. Where's the excitement gone?
Don't tell anybody I was rooting for the tie breaks.
No, I think, yeah, we'll have a draw.
I think they're the two best players of the tournament. I think, and the draw is agreed. Draw is agreed. What a game! But you know, I go back to this moment, Raluca, and I can't help but wonder what happened here with 92. It's not like Levon's advantage is so big. It just felt natural. Maybe he should have played something like rook a2, be a bit more patient. Then again, black is still quite solid. 92 might have been the slight inaccuracy, and Hikaru was very precise with his calculation. So once again, we have to show this idea. If this indeed was working, what was it? Bishop e3, queen c3, rook c1, queen d4.
And takes on g4.
Take it, queen g6, and c4.
To go into the endgame, a drawish endgame. Bishop takes d5, and there you take with a queen.
Then you take with a queen, queen g7, and this is somehow drawish. Somehow. Yeah, although black has the pass, but okay, probably it's a drawish.
Probably it's a draw. I mean, at their level, it's probably a draw.
Right. You know, I'm actually a bit surprised. I thought today is going to be a longer day.
Me too.
What, 3 hours only? Oh, wait, how many hours is it?
2 hours?
2 hours. Wow.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. 2 hours. 2 hours. Oh, no. All right. So that means that...
What are we going to do with all that time?
I don't know. Have to think of something. Wait. So what does it mean? It means that both classical games of Aronian against Nakamura have ended in a draw. Here you see the standings. And tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central European time, you're going to have the tie breaks. The tie breaks are 15 minutes plus 10 seconds, 2 rapid games. I'm not sure who is going to have the white color first. If the match is still tied, then we are going to have blitz games, 3 minutes plus 2 seconds, 2 of them. And if even that is a draw, we might see an Armageddon in the end. 5 minutes against 4, and black has the draws.
Yeah, and well, before we go, so that I don't forget to thank you guys for being here, we also have a discount code for you. So if you go premium during the FIDE Grand Prix, you can get 40% off if you use the code that you now see on the screens, Grand Prix 2022. So use the time now. Now is the time to become premium and use all the features.
Do it now.
Now.
Right now. All right. Okay, this was fun. Slightly shorter than expected, but I think it's really deserved. So
3 p.m. Yes. Tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central European time. Don't miss it. Come back here at Chess24, either Twitch or YouTube. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, all of you, for all of your positive comments. We were not able to answer to all of them, but still we are reading them. It's important for us to read what you're saying there. So thank you for your support, and I guess see you tomorrow, right?
Thank you very much, guys. See you tomorrow.
We will be back with a new season of the Multiple Championship in 2022.
Welcome to the new Chess24 playing experience. Play in light mode or dark mode. Choose from a range of time controls or create a custom game. And get paired with players from around the world, fast. Enjoy a polished playing experience while making moves on a fresh, responsive board to claim your victories. Train and improve with over 80,000 puzzles. And that's not all. Download now and discover what more you can enjoy in our brand new app.